Guys, welcome back to my new PlayStation 5. We're going to be doing PowerWash Simulator. We're going to clean the detached house. Just got back from work. Gonna unwind, talk a little bit, use this as a good opportunity to talk to myself. Got a lot of cleaning to do. So we're going to start right here. Yep. Feel like I should be changing my nozzle, but I don't really do that often. Like, this makes sense? What does that do? Whoa, I don't like it. Let's try this. Does that clean it, right? No, it needs something stronger. We'll stick to what I think I started with. Yeah, well, it happens. I missed a spot. But yeah, just got off work. Got some homework to do in a bit. The homework's gonna be about Sally Rooney's Conversations with Friends, which is an interesting novel so far. It's occurred to me I haven't really read too many female authors, which is kind of uncool. I mean, I have two shelves, but if we're just looking at the one that I have here, in this where I'm living right now, I can count, how many female authors. So far I'm at one. I mean, two, maybe three. Yeah. And then I look at my other shelf. I mean, like, for the most part, my main shelf here only has three. And I mean, there's like dozens of books here. So it's, yeah, it kind of struck me. Oh, I don't read female authors, and I should. Because, it's important to expand your sphere of acceptable incoming knowledge. I also had some interesting ideas. I've been reading a lot lately, but an interesting idea of I should be trying to read like one book from every single genre. Wouldn't that be cool? So far this year I read Blood Meridian, which was phenomenal. Very masculine as well, so like not helping my reputation. But that's a literary western, but it's definitely a western. Arguably the western. What else did I read? Technically I read most of this last year, but I did finish the final chapter this year, Throne of Glass, which was a book by Sarah J. Maas, and it's my girlfriend's favorite author, one of her favorite series of all time. These books matter a lot to her, so I read that first one, and she got me the second, so I've got to get that done soon. But it's not really my style, and it's young adult, and I didn't enjoy it too much, but I didn't really dislike it either. I thought I had some pretty cool ideas. It felt a lot like Harry Potter to me. I felt the same way about Harry Potter, honestly, but I've heard it gets better around book 3 or 4 in the series, so fingers crossed. So that one's a fantasy too, so if we're counting it, I've already knocked out fantasy. Furthermore, I read Pride and Prejudice. If it wasn't obvious, I am taking a World Lit by Women class at the moment, hence the homework about Conversations with Friends. I can't imagine there's too many classes that are studying that. But there should be. It's definitely well written, and I can't exactly figure out why it is, so I'm excited to talk about that in class. Not why, but rather how, you know. But, point is, Pride and Prejudice is a literary romance, I'd say. Although I think you could argue it doesn't fit cleanly in the romance genre, but I do think because of how influential it is even today on the genre as a whole. I mean, grandmothering in, I guess, perhaps a lot of the tropes that are now considered like key pillars of the genre. You know, lovers to enemies, enemies to lovers. I mean, is a big one. Which I also think this is like one of the only books. It's not true. I can think of at least one more where like I know there's an enemies to lovers, but Pride and Prejudice, I would argue, definitely a literary romance. Conversations with Friends, I'm reading right now, is it's a romance for sure. It's a weird one in that like the emphasis is on this girl seducing an older man into having an affair. But it's still a romance. It's still very much focused so far on the main character's relationship with her friend, but also her relationship with this man. So, yeah, I'd argue romance. I'm also reading a book right now called Annihilation. It's kind of an ecological, whatever, science fiction, a bit psychological thriller-ish as well, but that's definitely science fiction, which I was always going to read a science fiction book. It was always going to happen. So that's not surprising at all. But if you look at it that way, I mean, I've got a fantasy, I've got a western, which was pretty much the only western I've ever read was Blood Meridian. So a western, a classic, if you combine some of the genres. Pride and Prejudice is a classic, so I don't know. Romance, fantasy, pretty cool. What other genres am I missing? I mean, if you don't count fantasy, because here's the thing, I did read most of it last year, and then I did the final chapter, like January 3rd. But whatever. But that leaves a mystery thriller. Definitely leaves out mystery thriller. Horror. You could argue that Annihilation and maybe Blood Meridian, but not really, have elements of horror strong enough, especially Annihilation, to categorize them as such. But I don't think I would call either of them horror books, really. Even Annihilation, which I'm halfway through, so I don't know. Maybe it will get more. It's definitely spooky, but it, for me, reads far more like science fiction than it does horror. Not that the two can't coexist, but it's just like such an emphasis on the science fiction and psychological thriller for sure that it's hard to say, that's a horror book. It has a couple scenes and moments that feel like that to me, but not greater picture. I don't know. We got mystery thriller, horror. Is mystery thriller the same genre? I don't know. I'm thinking like Barnes & Noble. I used to work at Barnes & Noble, so they combine mystery thriller into one, but no, that doesn't mean they have to be. Yeah, what other genre? Nonfiction, for sure. I want to read some nonfiction this year. I just bought a book called The Lost Tomb, um, which looks kind of like an interesting collection of nonfiction stories about, like, bizarre murders or exploration, Indiana Jones type stuff. Feels like to me. But see if that's any good. There's a chance it might not. I kind of bought it on a whim, which is the best way to buy things. So, what else? What other genres are there? Nonfiction. I don't want to get too deep into the genres inside nonfiction. Like, I don't know if I want to include history. History's big enough to where maybe. But I definitely don't want to, like, count psychology and parenting as their own genres to where I feel inclined to read them, particularly in nonfiction. I'm not gonna read parenting, That's not valuable to me at the moment as much as something else might be. I gotta take off my jacket. What time is it? 10:42, and my assignment's due at 12. Great. And then I have class at 8 in the morning. Man, I should be asleep right now. Anyways, I'll take off my shirt. I'm still in my work clothes, so 1 second. I'm also gonna have a sip of crap. I don't have any more tea. That sucks. I have soda, but I only have 2 cans. And I want to save them because I never get cans. One's a Mountain Dew, which I never drink really, and the other is a Blackberry Dr. Pepper. So good. Blackberry Dr. Pepper is so good. What other genres are there? I'm looking at my shelf right now. I should read a graphic novel. I should probably include that. I mean, graphic novel is not a genre for sure, but it definitely is, conducive to different types of storytelling that I feel like are unique to the medium and worth distinguishing. So like I'd count it in that way as its own genre. But what else is on my shelf? Fantasy, already did that. I'm not gonna break down fantasy into multiple, like epic fantasy, high fantasy, grim fantasy, etc. And I'm not gonna count space fantasy as fantasy really, although I have a couple of those. I'm also not gonna count cozy blank as a genre. That it's not really important to me. Although I do have some cozy sci-fi books here and there. I've only actually read like one book I would outright call cozy. It depends. Some people count Harry Potter as cozy. I feel like that's a pretty common thing. I'd say it's cozy, but it doesn't line up with one for one what we consider cozy today. And like, I mean, like we as in people who talk about books frequently. What other genres are there? I mean, there's so many within general fiction, which I do like. I think classic works, but Pride and Prejudice definitely fills that. Poetry, maybe? I don't know. That could be worth it. I've never actually bought a poetry book. I like poetry, but I don't feel as engaged with it as like most books I consider. I like sinking my time into something, and I can do that with a poem, but I can do it better with a longer piece of narrative. Um, you know. Yeah, it also doesn't always feel like I don't know. Anyways, what other genres are there? There's like some within nonfiction, but I think I kind of hit the big ones, which means if we're, unless we're not counting Durham Glass, since I finished it mostly last year, I only need mystery, thriller, which again I don't know if it's one genre or two, and horror, right? And nonfiction, right? Um, it did actually. Oh my gosh, you can just do that and it holds it. Wow. I did actually finish a book called With Teeth, which was a little vampire novel by Brian Keene, and I'd probably consider that horror. I'd probably consider it more explicitly, directly, obviously, clearly horror than something like Annihilation. That one might already be filled. I also read the book Phil and Journal 3 from the Gravity Falls universe by Alex Hirsch. And that was pretty interesting, although I don't know what categories those would fit into. Are they graphic novels? Are they comedy? They're definitely somewhat comedy, which is not a genre that I picked. Speaking of genres that I should be more aware of, autobiographies or just biographies in general. Memoirs, I should be more considerate of those as genres as well. Those could be valuable in ways that I don't fully know. I haven't really read. Wow, I don't like that. I wonder what else works. I haven't really read any memoirs, like, pretty much ever. So I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of them. They don't seem that interesting to me, just reading about some rich, famous person telling me, like, all about their rich, famous life. I don't know. I'm summarizing things in a way that feels really stupid. I guarantee you there are valuable memoirs. Guaranteed. I do generally just prefer learning through fiction. But, it can be valuable. You should definitely read something like that. Especially from like an educational standpoint, if I want to educate myself on certain cultures or people or belief systems other than my own, which is always helpful. And maybe I could do that. Oof. What other genres are there? You know what I should do? I have money. I should go to the store. Save. Okay, I think it's saved. I don't know. Shop. PowerWash. Huh? I feel like I've heard people say safe for this, but I'm not even level 40, so maybe I get this one. Why not? You know? Although I could just wait till I'm level 40. I don't know how to get to level 40, but I can do that. Oh, wait a minute. That's free. Prime Vista Pro, is that what I already have? Oh my gosh, free. What the frick? Anything else free? I don't have the Prime Vista Pro. Oh my gosh, that's like the ultimate professional duty. Are you serious? Wait a minute. Oh. Oh, were they just skins? Because now I'm sad. Yeah, that's quite a bummer. Yeah, looks like they're just skins. Man. What else can I buy to help me? You can out with attachments and accessories to help you clean your job. Just to be a little faster. Looks like I've bought all of this already. Oh, the soap nozzle. Used with clean liquids to rapidly cut through all dirt types. It's cheap, so I don't know. I don't really want to. I kind of just want a better power washer. Is that silly? Modifications. Personalize the look. Boo. Is that worth it? No. I feel like it's worth it. I feel like that's significant. I can do it. I can always get more money. Oh yeah, that is significant. Yeah. Wow. Should have done that forever ago. Dang. Yeah. Those are all the genres. So I guess I need to read. Oh, dude. It's so nice. You know, reading is good. It's healthy for you, but most importantly, I advocate, I support for it because I think it encourages empathy, which we're all pretty much devoid of these days. Like, I don't know, use some more empathy in the world. I want to point out it's not sympathy. Empathy is one of the greatest forms of love out there. Love, community, which is probably, I think love and community is the core for which upon all other loves are built. Maybe that's pretentious, but if you're not worried that you come across as pretentious, then you're probably not trying hard enough. Wow. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's all one railing? Interesting. Yeah. So reading is very good for me. And more importantly, it's good for other communities. more people are devoted to learning about other cultures than people and ways of life. We could learn to be more accepting. Which I don't know, some people would say is a flaw, but yeah, I've talked to some people, even relatively recently, who told me that inclusivity. Huh? I hear a strange sound. Okay. I've heard people even somewhat recently pitch that inclusivity is what ended the Roman Empire, and so there's no room for it here in our first world countries and nations. Which I think is a really depressing pitch, but people be pitching, you know what I'm saying? Man, Blood Meridian's really good. And the customer today, I work retail, and I think I disappointed them. It's been on my nerve. On my line lately. Him and his wife. Or, I don't know, his girlfriend. You know, been on my mind since it happened. Pretty much. It's not easy to forget things like that, but I will. I'm getting really tired. Probably gonna have to take a break soon. And by take a break, I mean, yeah, take a break, and then do my homework. Because it is, what time is it? It's 11, it's 10:58. My homework's due at midnight, so if I take a break, you know, drink some water, stare at the ceiling for a minute, kind of just unwind, and stare at the ceiling in a healthy way. Then, maybe I can do my homework within a decent time frame. Even though I'm already exhausted, maybe the break's a bad idea. Maybe it'll just encourage me to procrastinate. Annihilation. But I'll find out. Because it's one thing I'm gonna do. Yeah, there's this man who said he worked with autistic kids in the city. Like he was a teacher. And he said they were like his favorite people. He seemed so happy about it. He was a customer. And I felt proud of him. Yeah. As if his actions kind of represented my beliefs or justified my lack of action in some sort of specific way. And therapists might argue that the fact that I feel a need for action is unhealthy, especially regarding an issue that I didn't cause and can't hope for the solutions for. This one is wailing and crying out loud. probably have to include this bit here. I'm so tired. I'm sure you can tell. Okay. It's a good start for now. Oh, I just laid down, which is very dangerous because I could fall asleep. Oh boy. Well, that's me talking about books. I feel like it wasn't a very insightful conversation this time, but I'm pretty tired. So, oh well. Uh. Hmm. It feels so much bigger on this. That's what she said. He looks so evil. Okay. Alright. See you next time. Soccer ball. Yeah, it's fun. I'll see you next time.